We'll pick up with the dig later, but I want to talk about just a very quick overview of the types of things that you uncover as you're digging the site. First of all, you find very, very large artifacts or structures inside the tell. I mentioned this before. You see how sharp the edge of the tell is here? That's not natural. It's something weathered, especially with a big pile of dirt that's weathering. It'd be nice and smooth, but it's not smooth. It has a very well-defined edge to it. And what causes that? I mentioned this last time.
Is it the glaze?
What causes this very rapid angle right here?
The wall.
Yeah, inside the dirt there is a wall, a perimeter, and that wall is made out of stone, at least the foundations, and that helps define that edge. See? Makes sense. Because you want the wall to be on the outside of your city, right? You don't want to build the wall on the inside because that would be dumb. Maybe Aggies would do that. They'd build a wall on the inside. We're going to put like a big circular wall right here in the center of our tell. No, you put the wall on the outside to keep the enemies out. And so that naturally creates that sharp edge. So when you're excavating right at the edge of the tell, which is here, you see what's happening? There's a city wall. They've uncovered it. So actually in this photograph, there's 3 walls. This is Middle Bronze, this is Late Bronze, and that's Iron Age. So you can see 3 different levels right there, one picture. We talked about that last time. The tell is actually made up of cities that have been stacked through time. This wall at the surface from the time of King David, Iron Age, and in the report I think Amnon ben Tor said that he thinks that this destruction level was caused by King David as King David's kingdom spread northward into the Jezreel, where he took Jokneam. All right, this is what this upper wall, right here, this wall, this is what it looks like at ground level. It's what is called a casemate walls. Casemate because it has an outer wall here and an inner wall with a space in between for rooms, closet space, or people can live there, houses inside the walls. It is small, but you know, you didn't need a whole lot of space, just long, maybe like a trailer home or something inside the wall. Why do you think they would build a wall like this, outer wall, inner wall? Why not just build one big solid wall?
That way you have to break through 2 walls to track them.
Well, if you had one big wall, then you wouldn't have that space in the middle that's very easy to break through. Maybe you just walk through it. So if you had a big, thick wall, then it would be a lot harder than breaking through 2 smaller walls. That would be like 3 walls, because you got an outer wall, inner wall, and then you have that wall in the middle that's not there. So it's really not about it being harder. It actually would be easier to break through if you're breaking through. Well, you would understand the genius of casemate walls if you were actually had to build one. Imagine I told you to build a wall around your city, and you've got to walk up a 30-foot high slope with a big stone. So when you get to the top of that big slope with your big stone and you're going to put it in place, what are you thinking? Because your back's hurting, your arms are hurting. You're going to be thinking something, right? What are you going to be thinking? Or you're going to put it down, and then you're going to think, because you've got to go down and get another stone, and another stone, and another stone, and another stone. So you get to the top, and you're thinking something in the whole process. What are you thinking? How can I build this wall, right, with fewer stones? How can I build this wall just as strong without having to carry so many stones up that hill? Because my back is killing me. You know what you're going to be thinking? I promise you, that's what you're going to be thinking. This is a way to build a wall that's just as strong, a honeycomb-shaped wall with fewer stones. And it's wide, so it has a nice foundation. It's large. You can put people on the top and all that, but that center part is hollow, so you don't have to carry as many stones up that slope.
So they would question. So they would build them as wide no matter what.
Well, it depends on the height. You don't want a wall that's really thin and tall because it'll topple over. So you want a certain width. But this allows you to have the width that you need because they have beams in between that connect the 2 walls together, and then they have beams at the top where you can have a walkway along the top. Plus you get all this extra storage space too, right? And that's important, especially when you have a small tell. It's only 20 acres, so you need to have a place to put your stuff. So do it in the wall. This shows Annabelle and Brohama there, and you can see these walls aren't very tall. They're only like 3 feet tall, so I guess it keeps midgets out. But
The gates prevail easy.
maybe, the scorpions, well, I guess scorpions cross. No, this is just the foundations. We're just looking at the stone foundation. The wall itself was made out of sun-dried mud brick, and it may have gone, 40 feet, 4 stories high around the city. So someone's asking, where'd all the dirt come from when you're digging? Where did all this dirt, how did all this dirt get here that we're digging in? It's the walls, much of it's the walls that have now just decayed and broken apart, and they fill up the city. So what we're actually seeing here are not the wall itself, but we're seeing the foundations, the stone foundations, right? Here's another casemate wall. This is at Hadzor and near the Sea of Galilee, just to the north. But you see the same process here, outer wall, inner wall. You have these dividers, and there's a lot of space in between. This is a photograph of the monastery of St. Catherine's in Sinai, near Jebel Musa, the traditional site of Mount Sinai, where Moses received the law. I like to show it because this is what the wall probably would have looked like if you approached one of these ancient cities. You have a nice foundation, but also in this case you still have the walls preserved because monks still live there and they patch up the walls. It's been there since about 600 AD. And what do you have in the back? You see the rooms? They're part of the wall. And so it's like a casemate in the back. And I've been told, this may be apocryphal, but I've been told that the person who began to publish plant cells, when they looked at under the microscope at the cells in plants, that he actually envisioned these very cells that you're looking at here in the wall. These are the monks' cells, and that's where they use the word cell in biology. When you're looking at plant cells, it comes from this idea because it looks like those individual compartments in the wall. Here's another aerial shot of St. Catherine. We're going to come back later when we talk about Mount Sinai.